I first saw the character Koby in the One Piece story, I thought Koby was a pathetic human doormat. And Luffy says it himself. If you actually see in the beginning of the story, Luffy pretty much calls it to his face. And of course, teaches Koby how to try to go for his ambitions and try to go for things, make an effort instead of just being negative mindset. And of course, later on, we see Koby actually call Alvida, the woman that he was the most fearful of, Alvida, an ugly old hag, a fat ugly old woman. I don't know the exact words, but it was a diss of epic proportions. And then of course Luffy saves him. Now I do want to say this, it kind of reminds me of a Marineford moment, but I'll touch upon that later in this video. Now early on we also see Koby, of course, punching Luffy, and then of course tells Luffy to shut the hell up when Luffy was pretty much incriminating Koby and he wanted to join the Marines. And Luffy might seem dumb as hell, I'll be honest with you. I won't be the first to defend Luffy's intelligence, but something he's really smart in is he constantly exploring different possibilities, which makes up for his lack of logic and honestly makes him an emotional genius. At times, why everybody loves Luffy is because of that trait he has. And honestly, that's why people call him a hero in the story, and he's a hero to many people outside the story too. Shout out to Miyako, who said Luffy had that one skill to bring all these people around him, even his former enemies. And of course, that special power was touched upon in Marineford. But I do want to say this, Koby felt helpless and was not happy. And I do want to say this also, he said, I'm no pirate, I'm going to be a Marine. And that was out of character for Koby. When he's going for his wants, that's something that Luffy pretty much influenced Koby on doing. So I gotta give respect to respect is due. Now, of course, the next time we actually see Koby is not in the actual story. It was a cover story. There was anime episodes. It's of course him and his journey of joining the Marines and where he goes after that. And of course, they're about to kill Helmeppo, and Koby stands up for his friend. And a legendary character in Bogart, of course, deals with Koby with relative ease. After the situation, of course, Koby would of course join Garp and learn under him and Bogart. And I know it's funny, you guys think I'm mentioning Bogart. He actually was in the live action, but he wasn't even there for, of course, Garp in a very serious situation. He hit a ride out for Garp. It's pretty funny seeing that moment where we're all waiting for Bogart to come out of nowhere and cut up Shitty to the rain, and he's just not there. Now moving on to the Grand Line, Koby hits Luffy the first time he sees him and uses a new technique called Soru. Of course, it's not really a new technique, it's because we just had a whole arc about it in CP9 using this technique. This is post Enies Lobby for context, and it was greatness. Koby of course gets bodied but is not recognizable. That's how much of improvement he had in his power. Luffy and Zoro could not recognize him, and honestly he shocked them with his gains. And being at the Grand Line in itself, just being there, is an accomplishment for Koby. I thought it was very ironic when Koby does reunite with Luffy. He talks about Vegapunk. The reason why I think it's ironic because the Egghead Island arc we're in currently. And I thought it was pretty cool that Koby promises to capture Luffy in the new world, like hyping up the new world. Like, we haven't seen Koby and Luffy interact in the new world, and we've been in the new world for a long time, for years. And Koby says he's going to become an admiral, and Luffy says, obviously, if you're going to fight me, you have to become an admiral. And Koby was a little shaky about it, but he still is saying his ambitions, his aspirations. He's never going to be full out 100% gung-ho like Luffy is, but the steps he's making, I always say this, 30% improvement is better than 0% improvement. I felt it was a great moment when Zoro says to Luffy, did you just create another great enemy? And that's why I believe Koby vs Luffy needs to happen, like ASAP. Now, of course, the next time we see Koby and Luffy in the same situation is Marineford War, and Luffy pretty much destroys Koby in the heat of battle. And it was just, that whole Marineford War arc was just, Koby was not ready for that stage, guys. He just wasn't ready. But still, Koby had probably one of the most impactful moments in the story, standing up to the current fleet admiral Akainu. And you see Garp shocked, and of course he says those courageous words, pretty much trying to stop the fighting. And I kind of was like, yo, if you're not about this justice, and tries to kill him, but Shanks comes out of nowhere and saves him and says courageous words and gives Koby high praise. And I thought that was really reminiscent of when Koby stood up to Alvida and Luffy protected him. Koby stands up to Akainu, and of course Akainu and Koby on the same side. Alvida and Koby were on the same side, and of course Shanks comes in, a pirate. And I thought that was very cool, Shanks and Luffy having a poetic moment when it comes to symbolism and the connection. Now, the next time we see Koby, we see his power has improved. It's been 2 years. Of course, his power is going to improve. His haki, of course, when it comes to sensing, his speed in the water, his overall strength when grabbing that torpedo. And Helmeppo wishes his observation haki was at the level of Koby. And we all know Koby unlocked observation haki during the Marineford War arc. And we got confirmation that every single Vice Admiral and up can use haki. So Koby has an immense amount of power and potential just through his, how to say this, training regimen. Now, of course, I did gotta admit, when I saw Koby fanboying over Luffy's accomplishments, yeah, it's like a feel-good moment because Koby was Luffy's first ally when he left his village. But come on, guys, Koby, I want you to stand up to Luffy, not praise him. So it did kind of feel a little iffy, but we'll just ignore it for the time being. I thought it was also very cool later on in the story when we find out that, of course, there's a faction called Sword, and alongside the captain of the division, X Drake, Koby is a member. A captain, HQ captain, is a member of this division, and I thought that was very, very interesting. Now, of course, Koby does tell X Drake that I'm actually going to the Amazon Lily to capture Boa Hancock, and I had hope of a good fight between Koby and Boa Hancock. Now, I knew that Boa Hancock was, of course, should be stronger than Koby, because we just haven't seen anything Koby has done that has reached pre-time skip Boa Hancock, who was low diffing pacifistas. That's how people don't understand how powerful Boa Hancock is. But I will say, when we finally saw this interaction, Koby didn't get stoned like we saw two Blackbeard top commanders encountering Devon and Vasco shot, and of course a Vice Admiral as well. These are some very powerful individuals that got stoned by Boa Hancock, and Koby didn't get stoned. They had higher ranks than Koby if you think about it. But I do want to say this, if Marshall Teach didn't invade, I think Boa Hancock probably would have defeated Koby. So that kind of was a benefit to Koby, but also it kind of was a thorn in his side because Teach is not on nobody's side. He's just doing his own thing. And then, of course, we got lucky to see Rayleigh, of course, save him. And Rayleigh would, like, let's be honest here, Rayleigh saving really helped Koby big time. Now, it's just seeing Teach and Koby in the same situation really did remind me of, because Teach did mention it, the Rocky Port incident, of course, where Law became a warlord, where Blackbeard got his Pirate Island beehive. And of course, this is where Koby became a hero. I think we definitely need to see a flashback of this great moment between Koby. Koby kind of tries to downplay it, so I'm not too sure he did something super crazy, but I thought I'd mention it. Now, the next time we see Koby, we see that Cross Guild, led by Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile, has put some respect on Koby's name, giving him a 500 million berry bounty. And you could say that Oda is hinting at Koby's power level being around the same level as Luffy post Dressrosa. I do think don't include Gear 4th, but I think Luffy without Gear 4th is where Koby is right now, which is still very far from Luffy. We see Koby, of course, with his, of course, attached to a wrecking ball, a chain that's attached to this crazy cannonball or whatever, this heavy weight. And of course, we also see this is good training. It reminds me of Luffy, and he was captured in prison Udon, and he was training with Kid, hypothetically, just moving big cinder blocks. Definitely think that this is going to be a good moment for Koby to get stronger. Of course, Garp comes out of nowhere and calls Koby the future of the Marines, which Prince Grooves did not like, but still, I thought that was very cool to see that Garp's belief in Koby's power and potential. Even Aokiji acknowledges Koby as Garp's new favorite protege, and himself as the #1 protege. So let's just be honest here, Garp has a good track record. And I thought it was cool that Brand New mentions a hero isn't born after seeing, of course, Garp training his ass off, hitting those punching bags, those ships like a punching bag for years till this day. And it's hinting at Koby if you think about it. I do want to say this, when Garp is fighting, Koby does get Garp stabbed by Shiryu of the Rain. Garp downplays it, of course, but definitely was a very shocking moment for Koby as a character. We also see, of course, Aokiji tells Garp that you have a habit of training and raising enemies in Monkey D. Dragon, Portcullis D. Ace, and Monkey D. Luffy, and Aokiji himself. But Koby's different. He stayed true to Garp's wish of staying a Marine, and that is why Koby is special. And Garp gets scolded by a Marine teacher, but Garp tells him, yo, save the baby and yourself. If you have only 2 spots on a ship, don't save the old man. And that's a teaching of Garp saying power of youth is limitless. That's Garp's belief. And we saw Koby in a situation sacrifice himself for 800 Marines. Even a Vice Admiral was shocked. And of course, Akanu's words saying he's part of Sword, so we can't do much about it. Koby really showed how real he was. Then of course, Garp tells Koby to smash that huge hand by Avalo Bizarro, who's trying to get fame because Blackbeard's been hogging all the fame when it comes to the Blackbeard pirates. And of course, Koby's doubting himself. It's too big for him to actually destroy. And Garp says, never second guess yourself and go do it. Even Prince Guru's, the rear admiral that's part of Sword, asks Koby what he's going to do. And Koby says, I'll figure something out, which he's just shocked. And of course, Hamapo covers Koby because he has belief in Koby's power. He knows about Koby's secret training, just like Garp knows. Yes, Koby had secret training for 2 years, hitting on those same battlefield ships that Aokiji and Garp were. And that's an admiral and a man who's pretty much the strongest marine of all time. And Koby did extra training, his regular special training with Garp and extra training on top of that, and shocked Garp. And that's why he was improving so fast in his power and ability. And then we see it, the power of Koby, his true power, hockeyed up fist, honesty divide, and he does it, and everyone's shocked except Garp, who's laughing his ass off. And Prince Guru says, were you hiding your true power this whole entire time? And honestly, this power that Koby showed makes him a Vice Admiral level character. That's a power jump for Koby minimum. His hockey ability, this crazy destructive capability, power ability he did. And you thinking about it, it's like me, like look at the Vice Admiral that took out, of course, that Sea King and Momonga. This is a crazier feat than that if you think about it. And this is one more step to Koby reaching his goal to becoming an admiral. And of course, that's mountain level DC and that ability. Insane. Garp sacrificed himself for the future of the Marines, with it being the final saga and us witnessing Sanji, Zoro, Law, and Kid huge power-ups and still not reaching Luffy's level in power. This guy fighting Kaido and Kizaru. Luffy is a beast, but Koby's limitless potential needs to be sped up, and we're already seeing the signs of it in this Egghead Island arc, especially with it being the final saga. Good thing is that the hockey display, definitely don't forget Kaido's words, Roger did it without a Duffel ability and Koby has no Duffel ability. It's all hockey, that famous line. We definitely need to see more of Koby, and I think Koby's time is going to be in Elbaf. And I think a battle with Luffy will definitely help him bloom even further in power drastically before he becomes an admiral. Maybe he even fights a admiral in Greenbow and Akainu. I think the end of story is going to be really promising for Koby, and Egghead Island was just the start. And I think he needs to be able to take Luffy to last hit, and I ain't just talking about Smash Bros. He needs to actually bring him down.